Messy. Yeah. Hello guys, I'm Danny TCV, TheCriminalViolin. You might be able to tell in the background here that it's a little bit different. I just spent pretty much most of my morning moving, in fact, well, actually all my morning, other than a few minutes of it, moving my computer setup from over on the left side of the room to the right side of the room here. So you would have the full brunt of the closet and the window and stuff too. Now you have instead the doorway with my towel hanging on it, and then the yarn basket, which I occasionally play basketball on. That's why it's bent. I like to dunk. Anyway, and then you just have the right hand edge of the thing and stuff, and yeah. Anyway, this is, again, if you guys didn't catch it before when I've mentioned it, this is my grandma's swimming room. So, because I'm essentially couch surfing with my grandma, because my dad basically kicked me out the street. He's like, you know what? No. You know, I could go into his whole story about how he has such hypocrisy. It's just, with his new what would make it a step family to me. Yeah, my little stepsister, he spends thousands of dollars on her in gifts, and he wouldn't even buy us mattresses when we needed them. So I slept on the floor most of the time. I still sleep on the floor, though, because it's comfortable for me. But, I don't have anything else. But anyway, yeah, you work with what you got. But anyway, that's the short, long story short on that stuff with all that, and trying to basically say, yeah. Anyway. So, the main point of this vlog is essentially, just basically updating you guys on this. The lighting apparently is a lot better. My window's not open because the blinds aren't open because it's 90s each of the days here, because it's, ever since about May 20th or so, summer's came. So we have a really early summer. The Willamette River is actually at a record low level right now in terms of the last, I don't know how many years, but my inherited grandpa, or technically great-grandpa, I guess, down in the Salem-Keizer area, which I went down there yesterday for a not birthday party. I'll get into that too really quick. But, no, the air quotes, not birthday party. Anyway, Salem-Keizer, I am pointing south, actually, correctly. I'm not being dyslexic about it. Anyway, where was I? Anyway, he said he lives right on the river down in Keizer, and an apartment complex, and he said that he's lived there for about 6 or 7 years, and we had a record all across the Northwest, specifically Washington, Oregon. In 2009 we had record-breaking heat and dryness. Like, we had record low amount of snow. It just obliterated all records. We had heat and dryness throughout all the year that obliterated all records. We set 108 degrees in my hometown, because technically it's unincorporated, so it's not actually a township because it's not incorporated. But anyway, of Aloha, we set 108 degrees, which set the state, or the metropolitan, Portland-Vancouver metropolitan area region's record. Like, literally, it is the record holder now, is Aloha at 108. Although Hillsboro or Hillsburrito, as a lot of people call it, and then I think it was Tigard and Tualatin all hit 108 too, and I think Estacada did too. So I mean, that year it was just blazing. It was literally like a cool version of Phoenix by about 12 degrees in the summer. It was like, ugh. Everybody was like, I'm dying. And actually, we lost so many pets that year because of the heat, and we didn't have any air conditioning in the house, and we were so absorbed in getting my sister, throwing a graduation party for my sister, that we didn't think beyond to a point to where we'd freeze bottles that night, and then before we left, give it to our animals or something, which might have helped them. I don't necessarily think it would have kept them alive in that much heat. And I closed up house that's on a hill, so it's in the brunt of the sun. But anyway, yeah. So, with that being said, down there, they also hit like 105, I think, that year on that day. But no, even with that record, everything. Where there's literally no snow melt, and there's really, it's just been so hot and dry that you'd expect it to be the lowest he'd ever seen at that river. But he said it was actually a lot higher than it is now. They're just, I believe it's considered downstream with the current, and I was going towards this case the Columbia. So I'm going to say downstream, or upstream rather, to a buoy. They're just really close to it that they get their water level and weather forecasts and stuff from, and they're at the point of 5 feet. And last December I was down there, and it was at 26 or 26 and a half feet, which is, if it was 26 and a half, it's a half a foot below what they consider stage 1 flood stage. So it was really, really high, and there wasn't really any rain to cause that either, or any, snow melt or anything, so it's like, this is weird. But it's even weirder to see that this year, not only because there literally is no melt, there's no snow in the Cascades, there hasn't been any snow anywhere in the Northwest, even in British Columbia, really, there hasn't been almost any snow up in their mountains either, even at the summits. So there's really no snow melt that's going to ever come down to any of the rivers, so all of them are going to be at record lows, you would think, but then again, that's only a little portion, because we also have seismic springs that fill the rivers, and we have just the weather overall for the past few years to consider, and with that all being ran down, and the fact that he said that he can sit out on his deck, because again, he's right on the riverfront, sit on his deck and literally watch the river level go down. He can actually watch the water level of the river go down on his deck, and he says it actually goes down, like that much. You can watch it go down in about an hour on just an average day in the 90s. It's that bad, and it's not like the size of the Yamhill River. And if you're from here, you know that the Yamhill River is, like a flooded, swollen Big Creek. It's not so much a river. It's kind of like the Tualatin, except slightly wider near its mouth, which is what I'm talking about, like just on the east side of Newburgh. And that's the size of the Yamhill this year too, at its mouth. But the Willamette down there, it's actually that same size, and normally it's still a much higher water level, so it's wider. But it's that same size, and it looks like it's definitely actually a lot shallower than the Yamhill is currently near its mouth there, on the east side of Newburgh. And it's mind-blowing that it's just that low, especially the Willamette is that low midway through its, running towards the Columbia. It's just mind-blowing. So we're definitely in the midst of a bad situation there. But, so I mean, it's like, we are in a major drought, and of course, NOAA is still like, no, you're not in a drought. Only, southeastern Oregon is. We don't live here, that's right, we forgot. We haven't lived here through all of this. Anyway, but that wasn't even the main point of it too, but I really love to tell that, because it's just like, I just like to, it's mind-blowing, how dry and hot it's been. But anyway, meanwhile, I also wanted to essentially say that, I'm wearing my Tommy Syndicate shirt, finally. I got the Life's Too Short to Make the Most of It one from him. See the badge on the right arm here. Anyway, yeah, the branding badge. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to start a new set of series, which it's going to be a bunch of them. I'm going to actually have the original Super Mario Brothers, which is going to be amazing. The official first Super Mario Brothers is going to be so awesome. And then I'm going to have a whole bunch of horror games being recorded. I'm going to record a bunch of horror games. So that's always amazing. So it's going to be with Facecam. Hopefully, unless the NCH decides to be a butt about using up boatloads of CPU now, like it did for quite a while there, for some other reason recently. Every time I tried to play it with a game, it's like, you're going to have to lag. I'm going to have to take up 60% of your CPU power. It's a beastly CPU, but it's NCH's, that's the problem. It's video pad, that is. And then recording webcam. I don't know why it does that, but anyway, so horror games are going to come up. I might have to, I guess I can lower the quality of the recording, because it's supposed to record in 720. But nevertheless, So, another thing I wanted to say is I haven't logged in, other than night before last, I haven't logged into, before then I hadn't logged into my Reverb Nation account, which is a place for independent musicians to post their music and to get themselves exposed, for people to listen to and potentially, get a contract or something with the agency or something like that, or record label. But anyway, yeah, so I hadn't been on there in over a year. I didn't know that. I thought it was a lot shorter than that. I knew it was a long time, but I thought it was more like maybe I don't know, I guess maybe like 8 or 9 months it felt like. It had been a few months over a year since I'd been on there. And again, this is the night before last that I finally went on there and found that out. And 10 months prior, now it obviously could easily be one of the scam artists. Who knows? But this guy 10 months priorly, he had sent me a message on Reverb Nation, basically as a quote-unquote what they call a fan introduction. And in that little message he said that he listened to my music and he really loved it and he'd adore to book me for a concert series with this nationwide agency that he works for as an agent. And I make music on software in a computer like this. I make it in Acid Pro or Fruity Loops or Aviary's Maya or Mina, or however you want to say it, when they had it. And God, those people have just made the biggest F up ever. It just ticked the frick out of me because they did last second warning, and when they sent out the emails, they sent them out way later than their deadlines that they were supposed to advise people of months ahead of time in the emails, that they were shutting everything down but their photo editor. And that threw me so off. It even heaved me into a creative block to where I could not create any music whatsoever. I can sort of do it now, and I couldn't even write. And I love to write books, especially, pencil and paper, old-fashioned. And, I couldn't do that for a long time. Now I can sort of do both of them, but it's a progress to try, and it's really hard work to try and get your mind back onto track after you were heaved off course in arbitrary action like people behind Aviary did. But anyway, I use software programs like that. So I didn't. It's not like I went to a recording studio with a bunch of other people and recorded us playing instruments, and then meshed them together that way or something like that. These are loops and wave files and stuff from free loop and stuff databases and off of Acid Pro's website, Sony Acid Pro's website themselves. And I'm really happy to hear that, this is basically what I said to him. It's like, I'm really happy to hear that you really enjoy my music and you would love to book me for concert series. That is shocking to me, but it's also, very unexpected, but it's also really kind of, can't think of the word, so just for lack of a better term, say flattering. But the thing is I kind of think it would be kind of difficult to do a concert with, me doing a concert with my music because I make it in software programs on computers. That might be a little awkward when trying to go on stage when you're playing it, but I'm just going to be standing there awkwardly staring at the audience like, do you like it? Love me! No, no, but yeah, actually that would be kind of entertaining to see their reactions, just like, what is this idiot doing? But, no, but it's just, basically that's what I told him, is like, I think that would be a little awkward and weird and probably pretty damn difficult to do that, But if like this guy comes back with it and it's like, no, we can do it this way or that way or something like that, then that to me is going to be a automatic sign that's like, yeah, he's a fraud. But not that it matters, because I can't go into a concert with computer-made music. It just doesn't work that way, But, I would love to, be able to be a drummer and a singer and a guitarist and pianist or whatever you want to call him, a keyboardist. and be out there with a bunch of other awesome people in a band and do it for all sorts of epic people and, you know, give them music they can enjoy. I'd love to do that, you know? I'd love to do that and be a songwriter and be a concert guy and stuff like that. I mean, I just adore that. That to heck of that would be amazing. But, you know, I don't do that, you know? I don't. It's like I have to teach myself physically, because I had my hand destroyed and my dad refused to get it checked out. He's like, you're just exaggerating. You're just a drama queen. All you do is jam them. I've jammed my fingers on both hands incredible amounts of times and overextended them, and both simultaneously, majorly, overextended, hyperextended, whatever term it is. And this hand feels so foreign now. And I had just became ambidextrous at that point. And it was flag football, and I slipped in the mud on a snap. That's it, on a snap. Because, you know, you're down next to the ground, crouched down, with your hands like this, you know, ready to lunge, and I had lunged with endless amounts of power, momentum, and intention, and determination, and sprint, and energy, and all that stuff, force, and as soon as I did that, my whole body weight and all of that momentum and energy and everything just went down into my fingers in my hand, and they just crushed into the mud, which, you know, below that, just about that far, is going to be hard ground. And that's exactly what happened, and all my fingers went super unnaturally, just like in every direction possible that they should never have gone. And so did my hand, and it was in agony, and it hurt, and it was super swollen, and like my whole hand and fingers were purple and everything, and it's like, ugh. And then I ended up, because he refused to take me in, and he insisted to stay. He was not going to let me go. You know, just like, you know, you can sit on the sidelines and whine, or you can, you know, play, because you're obviously exaggerating. And so I played with my destroyed hand, as painful as it was, and I even got a touchdown and all that, and even a tackle or a block after that, all three of them. And a bunch of deflections with the right hand that was destroyed. And so now my hand's all foreign and stuff, so I'm not ambidextrous anymore, so I have to reteach my nerves and my hands and me and my brain and everything else to be ambidextrous. Also, my dad ripped out my shoulder, my left shoulder, which is my primary arm, so I have problems with that, and I need to teach myself to do physical therapy and all this other stuff first, so that then I can actually do the physical therapy and not, like, no, I don't want to do it, you know, and, you know, that, and then I need to keep myself to sit up and stuff like that straight, so I don't have my shoulders and all that stuff hurting me again more and having more problems with them, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the list goes on and on, before I can actually officially become ambidextrous again. It's like, it's this huge project, and each part's going to take eons to finish, you know. It's like I can't actually do concert series like I'd love to do, although I could potentially sing, but what are you going to do? Anyway, welcome back to the Blabathon. Turned into. Anyway, story time! I'd probably just call this vlog just story time. Anyway, yeah, so, essentially, another thing I wanted to speak on was, my point for bringing up Reverb Nation was the fact that if you want to ever listen to my music that I've created throughout the years, there's a lot of stuff that now I've listened to recently, in fact, night before last, and I listened to it, and then I felt overwhelmed with this feeling of, like, giddiness. I'm so happy I made this music, because, you know, before I was kind of a little cynical in my music and stuff. You know, it's good to a point to where I definitely put it out there, but it's not good enough, or whatever else, you know, blah, blah, blah. It just, I didn't personally, like, I couldn't listen to it almost at all, like, maybe once every, like, 4 to 7, 8 months, you know, it was pathetic. But then, now, I don't know how often I listen to it, but, you know, because I love to sing silently to it. That's not lip syncing, there's a difference, because singing silently still takes all the breath of actually singing out loud, but instead, you control it to where you don't make any noise or, you know, sing any lyrics or anything, because you don't want to sound horrible and have your throat die because you're doing it with nervousness. I have major stage fright in terms of that, you know, like, I could probably speak in front of a bunch of people, and that would be super easy to overcome that part of the stage fright, but performing, like, music and singing stuff would really take a lot of work. But anyway, Yeah, so if you want to listen to that music of mine that I've made throughout the years, then all you have to do is go to reverbnation.com/DannyGrog. I put that in my last, and that's Grogg, not Grog like grog, like the thing that a pirate drinks, but grog with a extra grog like that, but with an extra G on the end. So call me Mr. Frog, thank you. Anyway, yeah. So essentially, if you want to do that, that's what all you have to do is go to reverbnation.com/DannyGrog, and you can find my music there. Obviously not all of it. I made endless more amounts of music before than that. Mainly stuff that I just took as a lesson, like never do that again. You know, because I'm like, no, I was too leisurely with that. That does not sound good. You know, that's mainly the majority of it. Or the save glitched out at some point for some bizarre reason, so now there's a bunch of missing pieces or something like that, and something went wrong, and so that's a lot of it too. And there's only a little bit, but there's some of it that's just, you know, it's good enough to definitely for everybody to listen to. I'd happily put it out there, but that's like here, there, bits of it over here, and some over here, and over here, but I have to dig it out and pry it out from somewhere, you know, and I have to figure out where in the hell it is in order to do it, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, it's crazy. But a lot of it I will not be able to get back because it was on an ancient computer that we had back at the old house, and that now, when it blew up, was about, I believe, 7 or so years ago. So, I mean, and the computer's a hell of a lot older than that. Oh my god, it's older. Hell of a lot older. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, I can't get that music back probably ever again. And that hard drive also blew up. So, you know, the operating system on that computer blew up. Instead of I think the motherboard and power supply all simultaneously, but the hard drives are fine. So he was doing that, and he was messing with them, getting his files off of it, and then it blew up again, apparently. So, you know, that hard drive blew up. So, I think he said that hard drive blew up. Either that or his hard drive in his computer that he was transferring to blew up. I think that's actually what it was. But anyway, hopefully that one doesn't blow up. But I don't know if he's ever going to get around to giving it to me, because he's my dad. Likely it is he won't. He won't carry it to either. But anyway, yeah, but, you know, if you want to listen to my music, it's reverbnation.com/DannyGrog. And, yeah, that's my first and last name, of course. But anyway, I've been putting it in my most recent videos in the description, along with my Twitter, my Twitch, my Imgur, however you want to say it, the IMGUR website for putting images on there. I have an account there called TheCriminalMC so if you ever want to look at any of my screenshots from games, even Minecraft, like some of my builds, which a lot of them are giving away a lot of things, although I haven't worked on MRS Season 2 World in now quite a long time, probably over a month, maybe around 2 months now. Probably just a little over a month, actually. Somewhere around that. Anyway, I haven't actually touched my new world building for MRS Season 2 yet, since then. I literally, like, because I'm so preoccupied with this, and then trying to figure out when I want to stream, because I haven't streamed in a long time, and I really want to stream, and I really need to stream, technically, and et cetera, to a point where it's just taking over. You know, there's so many things, and then life gets in the way, and this, that, and that thing. Anyway, yeah, so I have to figure out a lot of things, too, for, you know, getting other things associated with this whole thing back on track. But nevertheless, yes. It's also that red star on the links up on my channel banner art, my channel banner, whatever you call it. You know, the little link tabs on that is a red star, and that is my Reverb Nation account, so you can get there just directly by clicking on that. But yeah, so check out my music if you want to. You can check out my game screenshots. You can get the spoilers for MRS Season 2 World if you want to. It's a pretty cool build so far. You can kind of get the idea of what at least was initially trying to aim for. Now it's just kind of going to be like I don't know how to explain it, but anyway. Technically, I shouldn't explain it, or else it's going to give it away automatically anyway. But, yeah, so... yeah, I think essentially that's about it. I think I'm hoping not leaving anything out. If I am, sorry. But yeah, so recovering it, trying to just simply basically get the actual subject repeated from the start. Moved my setup this morning from the left side of the room over here by the window to this right side of the room right here. Hello. Little fingers. And I'm gonna start a new horror game series with Facecam. And I am going to I'm forgetting something in between that. If not 2 or 3 things. Record breaking drought and heat, I guess. And then the fact that you can check out my music if you want to. You can check out my images, my game screenshots on imgur/TheCriminalMC Architect. My music is reverbnation.com/DannyGrog. GROGG. And I swear there was something else I need to say, and I know I'm forgetting things too that I already covered, but that's the gist of it. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog blabathon kind of a thing, but it feels good to do this every so often for me. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, I'd love your guys' feedback. It'd be amazing. Also, I'd like I'd just like to interact with you guys a lot more. That'd be amazing. I kind of crave to be able to have a subscriber base that really would be interactive and stuff, and would comment and banter with me, banter, and all that stuff. But don't have to. Obviously, you don't have to feel pressured, but I can do. Anyway, yeah. So this is essentially a vlog blabathon thing with some kind of update announcements things. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you get the gist of what you needed out of this. And I have been Danny TCV, TheCriminalViolin. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, hope to see you all in next video. Stay safe, stay fluffy, and bye-bye.